Karolina, maybe we could start by talking about, well, this is the first time you've exhibited, I think, a painting where there are 6 sort of small panels circling around the edge of it. Could you explain perhaps how you came to this arrangement?
Sure. So this painting is called Lofty Branches Would Spread Here and There, which is a title that comes from a poem by Lucretius on the nature of things. But the actual painting, or a configuration of paintings, was triggered by Eastern Orthodox iconography. So I was looking at a particular icon painting in Poland, a hagiographic icon, where you have a central rectangle where the figure of the saint is presented, and it's surrounded by a margin of scenes of this from the saint's life. And I was just really fascinated by the concept and how the painting is structured and organized, and how image plays on different levels of image that describes something, and image something that can transcend perhaps, or provide a point of access to something divine. And I wanted to work with that, concept of how you can divide the painting and convey a sense of time and space that moves. I initially made a painting which was this size, where inside the painting you had this main central rectangle that was in a way reflecting this figure of the saint, and smaller rectangles like satellites surrounding this central rectangle. And it occurred to me that I could really extract this image from the rectangle of the painting and take it outside of the frame and have an actual image as a diagram outside of the painting. And it took me 2 years to work out how I could do it physically and practically, because I'm a kind of conventional painter. There are some, I do interfere with the edge sometimes, but I've never done an installation where you would have 7 paintings as one body of, work. And it's something that, also refers to, again, to Eastern Orthodox iconography of a screen that divides the Eastern Orthodox Church, and it's an image-bearing screen where icons are hanging and they can change and they can be reconfigured. So there is this activity going on, which also, I think, hopefully happens here, because each panel can move while still connect to one another and interact with one another in a spatial way. So this idea of space and movement and time and how they can behave within this work is something that really interested me.
I think you've said that you had a conventional sort of training at art school in sort of figurative painting.
Yeah.
How do you think that has affected the way in which you work as an abstract painter now?
Hugely. I mean, I don't really think of myself as an abstract painter per se. I don't really think of painting or try not to think in terms of categories. But we have to use these codes to, discuss painting. So I started as a figurative painter in Poland. It was a conservative way of training an artist, and I was labeled as a realistic painter and encouraged to continue in that convention. And I just found that not as engaging. You know, I didn't find it exciting. And it took me years after the university to somehow find my own way of, you know, painting language that could convey my relationship to the world and my relationship to life. And abstract language was my way into painting again.
So you see abstract painting and figurative painting as both having a connection to the world beyond painting.
Absolutely. Well, I think figurative painting, if we are to use these codes, and abstract painting ultimately seek the same goal in painting, and that is to, you know, to transform something, to change something, to provide something that is beyond recognition, and you know, something that speaks of the world and life. So I think, you know, any kind of painting can do that, but also not all painting. So, but that's what I want from my own painting, and that's what I search in other people's paintings.